Without a doubt, it's for me, my kind of why really is about helping people to be the best version of themselves. And so we at Star, we run a program called the Transformation Program, and that's really about behavioral change. So we're trying to change people's behaviors, whether they're salespeople or sales leaders, to be more effective. And a lot of that is around growing, developing skill set, but importantly, their mindset.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. Before Purple Circle, I started and scaled several 7 and 8 figure career coaching businesses myself and consulted with 2 career coaching businesses that are now doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or just building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Rexhen, and today's guest is Paul Dunphy. Paul is a globally recognized sales effectiveness expert and career coach based in New Zealand. With over 2 decades of experience, Paul helps CEOs and sales leaders build high-performing teams that scale revenue without stress. At SalesStar, he combines coaching and training into repeatable systems that empower businesses to grow without relying on a single superstar. Whether it's fixing underperforming sales teams or helping professionals navigate their career transitions, Paul brings clarity, strategy, and a deep focus on the results. And it's a pleasure for me to have him on the podcast today. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks, Richard. I appreciate that. Hi, all.
Thank you so much, Paul. So, first question I have for you is, tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to become a coach and then start your own coaching business and work as a contractor for these companies?
Yeah, great question. I think it really came about when I reached a certain age, I suppose. I had a job for many years bringing major sports events into Auckland here in New Zealand. I did that for about 15 years. Great job, traveling the world, bidding for major events, selling Auckland as a major destination. When I hit 50, I didn't want to get myself into a position where I was made redundant. And so what I realized was, where are my skill sets? My skill sets is really is around and developing people's capabilities. And so what I did, I saw, okay, what can I do in order to be controlling my own destiny? Okay, so that I didn't become redundant due to age or whatever. And that's where I became interested in and it really was around coaching in development, but also in coaching. Okay. So it's really about knowing that, hey, I've got a lot of life experience and I really want to pass that on to others and control of my own career and destiny.
And so throughout your experience so far, what would you say, which part of your coaching journey do you find the most rewarding since you started doing the coaching business?
Without a doubt, it's for me, my kind of why really is about helping people to be the best version of themselves. And so we at Star, we run a program called the Transformation Program, and that's really about behavioral change. So we're trying to change people's behaviors, whether they're salespeople or sales leaders, to be more effective. And a lot of that is around growing, developing skill set, but importantly, their mindset. So for me, the key thing is really just helping people to be better versions of themselves. And that's what motivates me to do this job.
And is there a specific target, not target audience, but like a specific group of people that you find yourself typically working with, or is not like based on any industry or any demographic, is generally broad?
No, that's a really good question. It's critical. One of the key things that we coach people on when we're developing our one-page sales plan is getting clarity around your target market and your target audience. And that's really important for any coach because you want to, instead of taking a shotgun approach, you want to be more of a sniper. Okay, so you've got to get that clarity. And for us, it is small to medium-sized businesses where we have access to the decision makers. So those are the directors of those businesses. And they might have anywhere between 5 and 15 salespeople and an income sort of like 10 to 30 million on average. So that's our sweet spot. But generally the industries, it's quite wide in the industries, but a lot of, I have clients who are in mining and exploration, who are in manufacturing, who are in horticulture, agriculture, who are in healthcare, but it's really the size of the sales teams that's critical for us.
And right now, how, like for someone, because we have coaches that I've interviewed who would like to be working on a contract type company versus getting their own clients always, or like doing their own marketing and sales and doing the coaching. In your case, you're also doing, you mentioned at the beginning where we're talking, you mentioned that you also do the sales part, but how do you land these opportunities? Is there any advice to landing these contract works as a coach?
Okay, Richard, let me just kind of go back a little bit in the sense of the organization that I consult to or contract to, SalesStar, is a globe. It's a New Zealand-based organization. But the reason I really joined this, because going on my own, coaching on can be a bit lonely. So what I enjoy is being part of a team. So as a collective, we're a lot stronger and we're drawing on a number of resources. So the organization has a small marketing team, but any leads that I get given to me, I treat as the icing on the cake. Okay. For me, I am coaching and also selling. So I will try and bring on my own clients and then coach them. I have the opportunity, if I bring on a client, I sign up a client, I can hand it to another coach, but obviously I don't get that coaching fee. So, it's really important for me to keep my in the game. So in a sense, if I'm coaching people, I'm not just drawing my past experience as a salesperson, but I'm still currently involved in sales. So I understand, the current environment, the rapid changes that we're finding with AI and sales and the impact having on coaching, etc. So, yeah.
So it generally makes you a better coach because you are always in the industry when it comes to being a sales coach, especially.
Yeah, totally.
And for the career side of it, do you also do the same thing? Meaning, do you try to find the clients yourself and then try to sell them? Are you involved in sales in the career coaching?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. So how I got into career coaching was, interestingly, I wanted to look at that next step. Okay, as I said, when I was working with Tourism Auckland, where do I go next? And so I ended up into this organization, Career Dynamics, and actually through that found out a lot more about career coaching, and that kind of inspired me talking to Lee Brody about this and thought, well, actually, I want to try career coaching as well. So the clients that I get, a lot of them are coming through the organization or through referrals, word of mouth. Okay. We know that getting referrals is a very effective way of bringing on new business in any form of coaching, whether it's sales coaching or career coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And also it's like it's like a sign of like the coaching actually working very well. It shows that there's good results with the coaching, that people are willing to refer other people to you. I wanted to ask you, so how does the future look like for the next 1 to 3 years? Are there any goals you're trying to work on with your coaching business? Maybe trying to get more contract work with other companies, or maybe trying to evolve in a way? Is there anything that you're looking on the horizon?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Increasing my own individual profile. So while I'm part of the SalesStar umbrella globally, it's important that I develop my own brand. And this is one of the reasons why I'm interested, to come and talk to you, Reg, and find out more and share my knowledge. So getting my own profile out there, particularly around LinkedIn, with other sort of business associations, talking to them, just particularly in Australia and New Zealand, because that's where my focus is, New Zealand and Australia. The other thing our heads around how AI is impacting on sales, but also on coaching. And we are, as a collective in SalesStar, doing a fair bit of work of that at the moment, and we're about to roll out stuff, particularly around role playing. So when you're coaching salespeople, it's important that they get the conversations right, the scripts right. And so role playing can be done traditionally with the coach and the coachee, or the sales manager can do it with their staff. But the challenge is getting them disciplined to do that and actually being able to critique and give feedback. Now, what we're finding with AI tools is that there's some really great tools where you can actually do role practicing, like doing lead generation, picking up the phone and calling somebody, and you're talking to basically an AI bot, and it's really, really effective. You can give some really good analytics about where you need to improve your feedback, your questioning, etc., your ability to handle objections. So those are the two areas that I'm interested in getting my head more around AI and how that's going to help me as a coach, but also improving my...
Interesting. So I haven't thought of that because obviously I'm not very involved into the sales industry, but that is a very interesting approach of using AI to do the role playing of a potential sales call or sales meeting. And yeah, do you find that that has been very valuable so far, doing that with the AI?
We've really just started it. Probably in the last months, the team here at SalesStar has been researching this, and we're about to roll out our own, I suppose, our own persona, or her name's Sarah. And for our clients, you can ask her a question, she'll provide you with the answers and stuff like that, and she'll be able to role play and stuff like that. So it's still very early days, but we're about to roll that out in probably the next month to our clients.
Interesting. That's very exciting.
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah, one other question I would ask is in terms of investments.
Yeah.
What do you think right now, being involved into two different, has there been like any investments you've done either on yourself or on like either your like business as a whole that you found that has been very valuable for you in growing your business, meaning either growing in the number of clients that you can take, because obviously now you're working on percentage, but still those are your clients in a way.
Investment, I suppose. One of the key things that we talk, well, one of the key criteria for selecting our clients is their ability to have a growth mindset. Okay, if you're trying to people who have a closed mindset, don't want to grow, then walk away from them. Okay, because they will create more trouble for you. So the first thing is, as a coach, I believe you need to yourself have a desire to grow and personally develop. And so my journey on coaching has always been a constant investment in myself. And I have to say, in the last 7 years that I've been working with SalesStar, I have grown, exponentially in my own personal development. And that is through a lot of our own content here around leadership, around mindset and stuff like this. But the investment I'm constantly doing is reading, okay? Reading a lot, listen to podcasts, and you can't beat experience, Rexhen. If I think about the first time, my first client, with SalesStar 7 years ago, and I look at how I'm coaching now is quite different, and you can't underestimate the investment in experience and getting out and doing the doing, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
And so far, what do you think is one of the challenges what is the biggest challenge while working with this contract work, having your business on the side? What is the biggest challenge you're trying to solve for next? Is there any challenge that you're working on?
I think the challenge is around, I suppose, macroeconomics, the things that are in the world at the moment, okay, particularly in the US and how that impacts global economics and stuff like that. And so the challenge is that you get caught up in that, and you can stress about that. So it's about that ability to control what you can control, and the only thing you can really control is your mindset, okay, and worry, okay, consistency of income.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the challenge. It's like any form of sales pipeline. You've got to be constantly working at all the different phases. So whether it's lead generation, having discovery meetings with potential new clients, submitting proposals, closing deals. You've got, so on one hand, you might be doing your side of things, but you've also got to be bringing on new business. And so you can get distracted by the noise out there in the global environment. So you've just got to, there's only so much you can control and focus that. And so give your best energy towards yourself and to prospecting and bringing on new business. So that, that is the challenge when you're kind of working for yourself, is that cash flow side of things. But on the flip side, it is really rewarding having that flexibility, autonomy, being your own boss as such.
And this, what is like a final advice that you would give to other coaches who are trying to scale their impact, either through what you're doing, meaning working as a contractor for companies, or even like to do this themselves, meaning have their own clients without a contract in the middle?
Yeah, if they want to scale, I think the key thing that I've learned is going it alone is pretty challenging. I'm not saying you have to be a part of a collective like I am, but it does come with a lot of benefits. If you're not going to join up with, with another organization and be a coach with them, and you want to have your own business, maybe have some form of a mentor or be some form of a kind of a group that you can bounce ideas off and things like this. Because working on this on your own, which I initially started on my own, for me, it was challenging, and I'm kind of quite a sociable person, so I get energy from others. So for me, it's having that kind of maybe a support network. Yeah, you might be an isolationist and happy to work on your own, but I think we're social animals. We get a lot from working, sharing knowledge, ideas from others, and I think that's the key advice I would give to others is. Have a support network, have very clear goals, have a mentor to bounce things off. Okay.
Thank you so much, Paul.
No
And
worries.
for anyone who wants you or connect with you, they can go into your LinkedIn, Paul Dunphy. And is there any other way they could reach out to you or connect with you? I guess they can go to also SalesStar or careerdynamic.com.
Yeah.
But what would be a better direct way?
SalesStar.com. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Paul Dunphy. Yeah. But just look me up, Paul Dunphy in Auckland, New Zealand. There's not many of me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul. It's been lovely having you on the podcast.
Appreciate that. Ta.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This conversation was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. To learn more about Purple Circle, our community, and how we can help you grow your business, visit joinpurplecircle.com.